a lot of you have already, some of you have already registered for the inspiration sessions, and there's quite a few people have said they're not sure what it is and they're wondering what it is. So I'm here today to just really do a Q&A and to do a little bit of what an inspiration session will be like. The first thing I want to tell you is that they will be pre-recorded. So you won't have to show up at 1 o'clock somewhere for a Zoom. It's not going to be like that. I'll pre-record them in my studio. And so I want to explain. Someone said this morning to me, they emailed me and they said, is this going to be recorded? So we will record it. So if you ask a question, I think we'll be able to spotlight people to ask the questions. That's always the best way. So if you ask a question, other people will get to hear it. We'll probably send it out in an email or something. But basically what she said was, I have lots of inspiration. What I want to know is this going to teach me about hooking? And I said, oh, yes, definitely it will. I didn't call it the hooking sessions. And I said to Rebecca, someone probably maybe might need to mute. There's some background noise there. Just make sure down in the corner, in the left-hand corner, that your little mute button is on. So what I want to do in these sessions is each month I want to show up here in my studio. Most of them will be self-recorded. Occasionally I'm going to have Angela record one. I want to show up, and I'm just curious how many people here have been in the harbor. Oh, look at that. Okay, I'm just going to go through. Okay. All right. So a lot of people here have been in the harbor. So the harbor was a real eye-opener for me. I learned so much from doing it. It was exciting for me. And now that it's finished, in that I am not making new content anymore for it, I kind of feel like I have a need to keep that part of my creativity going. And so I can't, like, the harbor was, the idea with the harbor was that I would, Rebecca, can you change it so that I'm not seeing myself, but seeing the people for me?
You go up on your view and turn it back to gallery.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Yeah, not a problem.
I did that last time too. So what I want to do with this is I want to show up at my frame every month for about an hour, and I want to hook. But as well as just hooking, I want to share with you, and I want to do it in a smaller way than, say, our Thursday Live, which is, you know, everybody's coming and going and we're selling wool and it's a show, you know, there's an advertising component to it, and there is a hooking component to it. What I would like to do with this is, you know, share my inspiration with you, my sketchbooks, my writing, my more private inspiration and the things that I'm working on. So in the one for March, which you will be receiving, you will see me work all over a rug that I've gone like to maybe 7 different areas of the rug and talked you through how I'm approaching that area. So that's what I'm trying to do. And in the talking through it, and then in the middle of it, I stop and I just sort of give you a quick little creativity exercise, just a little thought. So most of the camera is on the hooking and with me talking. And then the rest of it is, so the majority of it is hooking. Now, I was saying to Rebecca before I came on, just every time I start a new, this isn't a class, but it's a learning session, I guess. Every time I start something new, it evolves. So I can't tell you exactly how these sessions are going to be, because they're going to develop and grow as we do them. So at some point I may, yes, bring in someone into my studio and hook with them and interview them while we're doing it. So that's the kind of thing we did on the harbor. Or I may take you to the kitchen and do something in the kitchen, you know, like there may be things that grow and develop, but primarily the focus is me hooking and with my sort of more quiet inspiration. Now, what I want to do is I've set it up like a blog. And so in that blog, you'll get a new session each month, and you'll have a private password to it. And in that private password, when you put in that private password, it'll come up like March will come up, then April will come up, then May will come up, and you'll get all the sessions. And whether you join now or you join next month, you'll get all the sessions for the year. So, in each session, I'm going to try and combine, basically a hooking lesson, whatever I'm working on here at this studio, likely, probably sharing a book. In the last one, I shared a book. So it's kind of like a condensed harbor is what I'm thinking, but it's also going to have a lot of basic hooking know-how, because how can I not talk? How can I show you without talking you through it? So what I'm trying to do is share with you what's in my mind as I hook, but then add a few other things to it that will maybe inspire you throughout the month. That's my idea. I hope that's clear. Does anyone have any questions?
So for those of you who are new to Zoom, to ask a question, if you can go down to your reactions button, you should see a little button that says raise hand. If you don't see it on reactions, it might be on the participant tab. And if you're using a phone or an iPad, you may see it in a bit of a different place, but just kind of search through your options and there should be a raise hand button, and then we can go in order of the questions. So Lynn, yes,
I just want to ask one thing.
Sure.
I just want to make sure that our large meeting is working, that we have, that no one is not able to get in.
I don't know that for sure, but we're at exactly 100. So
I find that very strange.
I know, me too.
Yeah, I do. I'm
me
just
too.
worried that it's not working. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So first question.
Yeah. Someone asked in the chat, if these are pre-recorded, how does it become a live class? But I don't think it's live. It's just recorded.
It is not a live class. It's pre-recorded. So it is not a live class. Definitely not. However, I have set it up so that in the comments section, you can ask a question in the comments and I can reply directly to your comment in your comment. So with our other blog, what I did was I bought an app so that if you ask, so that we can have a small community within the comments. And there won't be a Facebook group or a special group for this. If you want to chat about it, you can chat in DFS Social or on Facebook or whatever. We're not going to have this will be really about you learning in your own home at your own pace. But the comments section is going to be quite comprehensive. If you have a question about what I did, the only thing I probably won't be always able to answer, like it's very difficult to answer what wool I used at what point in the video. That's very difficult because in these sessions, an 8x8 inch piece might have, 32 wools. So I might have a scrap of wool from, 3 years ago. So it'll be difficult to answer those kinds of questions. But, if you have questions about the hooking, or if you have questions about a book or about reading, or you want to, then the comments in this section will be, so say, Sheila, you ask a question and you say, Deanne, does that book have any other authors? Does that author have any other books and have you read them? Then I'll be able to answer right in the context of your comment with the app, and I'll be answering those questions directly. So there is no live component to this. Next person.
Lynn, go ahead.
There. Good morning, Deanne and everybody. It's not as much a question. I just want to make a quick comment and then an encouragement to new hookers. This will be my 3rd year in the harbor, and I've taken a lot of Deanne's classes. So along with many, many others who have done a lot more than I have, we've all, listened to a lot of Deanne's wisdom and watched a lot of her hooking and read things. But I want to tell you all that it doesn't matter how much you've listened to her, whether it's a little or a lot, there's always a new thing to learn, and there's always a lot to learn. And and even for someone new, I have a feeling, I don't know for sure, Deanne, but I have a feeling that these sessions are maybe going to be kind of like when I first started listening to Deanne. At the beginning, she used to do this thing called Dear Diary, and then she would share her thoughts, and some of it was processing life, most of it was processing hooking and her creativity thoughts and how she felt as an artist, and those really made a big impact on the way. This is Poet. She's here for the weekend.
Yeah, I was waiting.
We were just having second breakfast. That's why I forgot my lipstick. No, but back to just to encourage you, even if you are a new rug hooker, I would encourage you to take these sessions. Because first of all, it's Deanne, and you're going to learn a lot, and it'll be fun, and she'll give you lots of ideas and encouragement just in the sessions, but also you'll be able to go back to them, because as a recorded, purchased,
Yes.
event from Deanne, we can always go back and listen to them later. So even if you go back later, so for me, I'm using them now because I know it's going to be a continuation of what I've been doing. But if I was a new rug hooker, I would still want to invest in them because I think it'll be well worth it. So that's my more than two bits. But anyway.
Yeah, we didn't plant her. We didn't pay her anything for this.
I'm just always here.
I appreciate that. God love you.
No, that's all right. Yeah.
And I do want this, like, not everybody wants to take the harbor or feels the need to take the harbor. And so I kind of feel this is a combination of a combination to renew those people who were in the harbor 3 years ago and did, need some new ideas and inspiration. Mm-hmm. But also I want it to be for people who just come aboard, like they discover hooking in March or they discover hooking in May, and then they can join the sessions and become, familiar with the way that I teach. And because I teach, I have a philosophy about rug hooking and creativity, and I try to impart that. So thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you too.
And Lynn answered Heidi's question in the chat. So Heidi asked if she was new to rug hooking, would these be good?
Okay.
Oh, yes, they will be. Yes, I think so.
Good.
Okay.
And she didn't plant me because she's not perfect, just like the rest of us. But she's wonderful.
Okay, Melissa, you're up next. And your camera is very blurry.
Yeah. And your camera off, Melissa.
I'm not sure what that's about, but I look younger. I just wanted to ask Deanne, it comes once a month?
Yeah.
That's what you said. The package doesn't come all at once?
Mm-mm.
No, it's coming in. Okay, that's what I wanted to know too, because
I want to do it in time, right?
Good.
So like I'm the kind of person who likes to do things well ahead of time. This is something I'm doing because I really want to, I'm really excited about it. And I want to do it sort of in real, like fairly real time. So, I recorded in early March and it'll come out around the 25th. I'm also thinking it might not come out at the same time every month, but it will come out each month. Okay. I'm going to try and be fairly consistent about that, but that is because I want the inspiration to be current and to be, I want to keep as much authenticity to it as I can.
Okay, perfect. That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Okay. CJ Mack.
Hi, good morning. Excuse me. Good morning. Good morning, Deanne. Hi. Thanks for doing this. My question is more, is there going to be any element, or could there be any element of coaching using your app, or when we ask a question, if we're encountering a problem, looking at different color combinations or patterning, could you build in any element of coaching?
I can't, no, because I got to be honest with that. I can't, I can answer questions, absolutely. So if you had a question, but coaching is a total other thing. And it's a very private and personal thing. And we did some with the harbor with individuals. I am not ready to do individual coaching with people personally myself right now. I know what that entails as it's a very therapeutic thing. And I I have worked myself with a business coach over a couple of years, and I love it. And it's usually a very expensive private process, and it's a very different process than this. So I'm going to be really direct and honest. I'm happy to answer questions. However, I think that as my intention is to offer kind of a creative coaching in a more general kind of way. And I think that you will feel coached and you will feel supported in your creativity and just supported in your rug hooking from it. Mm-hmm. But will I? No, I don't think I will. I just am not prepared for that.
So there's more, it's more like a self-learning through the conversations and listening and reading and the exercises.
Yeah, I think it's more like that. Were you in the harbor, CJ?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's kind of, it's more of a self-directed.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye.
You're welcome.
Okay, and next we have Anne. Anne, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Good morning. Thanks for doing this, Deanne. I learned so much. I learned so much from you every time I tune in. So thank you very much.
Great. Thank you.
My question is kind of like CJ's. I wondered if you were going to be focusing on for each of your sessions, like a specific or a different skill as a kind of a framework, or is it just going to just like come to you as it occurs to you? Like, you know, I would like to learn more about color and the way I love what you do with your color, and I'd like to try to learn more about that. Also about the different styles. I hook with yarn as well as fabric, and sometimes you can get a different effect by using a different direction of your hooking. And I just wondered if maybe you would be focusing on a specific or a different kind of a skill as each session unfolds.
I think I'm going to do those things you will learn about, definitely. There's no question, but they will unfold in the making of the rug. So that's how they'll be happening. I'm not going to prepare a lesson, I don't think. However, I am going to prepare some elements of a lesson for each one, like I did that for the very first one that I've done, and because I've only created one, and I think it will change as I change and as I grow and as I develop and as the community changes and grows and develops, because I'm kind of intending on doing this for a few years. But right now I'm only committing to 1 year. But in my heart, it will be over when it's over. You know what I mean? When I know it's over for me, you know, and that I think it's not really reaching people in the same way anymore. So I will probably think of things, but I won't be like, I won't be trying to come up with cute tips and ideas. It's sort of not.
As a teacher, you know, I would always have a plan, but those teachable moments that would just happen spontaneously were often the best lessons. So I guess that's what I was looking for. Were you going to have a specific lesson plan, or were you just going to let it evolve?
I'm going to have a loose plan, and I'm going to let it evolve. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Okay, next we have Gala. Oh, you're muted. You have to unmute.
Okay. It's so nice. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Your name is Gala?
It's actually Gala.
Oh, yeah. Gala, right? Okay, awesome. Pretty.
I'm delighted to meet you all. And this course, as I've been listening to the questions, it just sounds like it's exactly what I've been looking for. So thank you for offering it.
You're welcome.
I originally raised my hand a while ago to just say, I do think only 100 people were being allowed in.
Yeah, so. I think so too. And I don't know what that is, Rebecca. You're going to have to help me with that, Rebecca.
But we're down to 99. So it may be that there's just about 100 people.
Yeah, but just watch, every time there's 99, do you let
it goes up to 100? Yeah, I know.
Yeah, sorry, Deanne. We're at 100 capacity, so I'm just putting a message to the other.
Yeah, thank you.
Get in that we're recording it.
Unfortunate, because I paid extra to be able to have more than, like, I figured we'd have I hoped for 60, and in my wildest estimations, I hoped for 120. So do you know what I mean? That would show up today. Gayla, do you have another question? Because we're happy to.
No, I'm all set. Thank you.
Okay. God bless. Thanks. Hey, Sheila.
You have to unmute, Sheila.
Mute.
My question is how the comments work.
Mm-hmm.
So let's pretend you're hooking and you do one of those moments, which is, oh no, that color won't work, and you tear it all out. Now, normally you might say why it didn't work too, but you don't always. You just sometimes you think
I
it's
don't
obvious.
always know, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes you think it's obvious. So and I'm sitting there going, why? So let's pretend I comment there, and I write a comment that says, "Could you say more about why that didn't work?" And the problem may be that, of course, you don't get it the moment I type it, so you may not remember. But let's pretend you do.
Mm-hmm.
I can say, "You put this lime green in, and I thought it was great with the maroon."
Mm-hmm.
And you go, "No, I took it, and you couldn't. Maybe you'll remember about lime." So you do remember. You answer me. And can other people then join that comment string? Or is it like a private message?
No, it's not a private message. Other people can join they can join the comment stream, yes, but not in the same comment. Your comment, there will be a reply directly to you that other people can read. But if they want to comment on it, they will create another comment. They will have to ask another question, because that is just, sometimes it's just the technicalities of how a program is set up, and I can't change it. I like the idea of a comment stream. I'm not sure. You might be able to hit reply to a comment, but I'm not positive.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
You might be able to hit reply to a comment. Sometimes that blog, I could go in and look at that, but I don't know that it will allow you to reply to the comment. It might, but
it would be interesting if it did.
Yeah, it would be, because it would allow the conversation to go a little bit more deep. Yeah. And I think as long as you're descriptive in your question, I think I'll be able to answer. I think I would be able to answer a question like that.
Okay.
I would try my best.
My interest in the sessions, and I'm on the fence in part because I'm backed up with things I want to hook, so I have a direction going right now, and
good.
I might need inspiration in 2 years, but right now I don't know how to keep up with the thing. So that part, to be honest, is less interesting to me. That doesn't mean it's not. So I'm most interested in the running commentary on the hooking. So if you had to guess, because I know it's evolving, and I know any rug evolves, so you can't nail it down, and you want to grow with it. I accept all of that. But if you had to guess, what % of the time would you say is devoted to you and your mat?
I'd say in the last one, about 87%.
Oh, how precise. Wow, that's very precise.
I would guess. Well, I just figured if I wasn't precise with you, you might just come back at me.
No.
In a gentle and loving way.
No.
No, I'd say, I think it was maybe a little bit more than, it might have been a little bit, because, why I said 87 is because I think it was a little bit more than 10% where I actually talked to you. And then, it was somewhere around 10%, but it might have been a little bit more. Let's say 85.
I've never actually tried talking and hooking at the same time, so I think actually it's pretty marvelous.
Well, see, and talking is actually a running commentary of what's going on in my head.
Yeah, that's what I like.
I think that might be really boring to some people, but to some people that would be a good learning experience about process, because I think after you've made your first 4 or 5 rugs, there's a lot about process that becomes very interesting in mat making. To me, it's all about process. And I know that's a really arty kind of thing, but it's also very practical. It's me saying what I'm doing as I'm doing it and why I'm doing it. And I think there's great learning in that personally, but I also think that it's good to step back from things and to, you know, I'm not going to be giving, there's no homework. There's no go write this, you know, and bring it back, or there's none of that. It's not about self-development. I think of this as company while you hook and learning while you hook. So when I hook, I do a lot of listening.
Me too.
And a lot of watching. I watch YouTube videos, different videos, whatever. I'll take an online course I've taken online courses and things that I'm not that interested in, but I like watching how they make the online course, you know, because I learn from that. So I like to watch and listen as I hook. And I like to learn. I like to take that time also to sort of figure out my own process, how I'm doing it at times, but other times I need some support and entertainment while I'm hooking.
Okay. Thank you. I want to say that I've done maybe 6 in-person courses with you, and I've done tiny landscapes in the harbor and also impressionistic flowers course, 3 very different courses online. And I actually can't say tangibly why they're such growth experiences for me. I can't say, oh, I learned X here. So it is kind of silly to say what % of the time is hooking, because it's so amorphous anyway. But I have to say, I just love that part. And I love the running commentary. And as a really now kind of old hooker, I always learn. Every single time, every single Thursday. So it's silly of me to do that. I just kind of want to know that part's a big part of it.
It's not silly of you at all. I think it's really nice to know what you're getting into. I don't find it silly at all. I find it a real question. And I think one of the questions, it is one of the questions that a lot of people have about this, Sheila. So I think it's a good question, because I think, you know, when I wrote in the letter yesterday, Heather came in and she said, you know, I really love you. I think you're great, but I don't know where you're going with this. I have no idea. And she didn't. You know, and Angela and I just looked at each other. We laughed, you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, we need to be clear and we need to help people understand what our plan is with this. So you can even probably call it the hooking sessions. I think it's about hooking. But, you know, sometime I might take a road trip and I might bring you with me. And the hooking session in that one might be 40 minutes. And I might just take a little road trip and take you somewhere. You know, that's my thought. And I want the freedom to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Fun.
There's one more hand up, but there's a couple questions in the chat we can probably quickly answer. So how long is each session or recording?
I'm thinking about an hour.
Okay.
I feel like that's as long as I could do it. Like, yeah, as long as the video, about an hour. Like some might be 48 minutes, some might be an hour and 10. Yeah.
Okay. So on average, an hour. Someone asked if there'll be patterns provided. Like, will you, and I think you answered that already, but.
No, there won't be any patterns or any kits. There won't be any, you know, I won't be saying if I happen to make something and you love it, and you can always email us and ask, is there a kit available or could I get a custom design of that? But that's entirely up to you. It's not about here, you make this month. I would really think that you should be making what you're making.
Okay. Someone asked if you can join anytime during the year or is there a deadline to join? And I think that's probably in the literature.
Initially, we thought that we would just have it open in March and then people would join from there. But I really want the opportunity for people to join next month if they want. Like if one of the things about the harbor and a lot of our courses, they come out once a year. And then I think about the hooker who comes along and has to wait for 8 months to join. So if they join, they will get, like, say if you join in May, you'll get March, April, and May, and then you'll be part of the sessions for 9 months, and then you can renew next year if you want to. So you join for a year.
Okay.
And you get the year's worth. Yeah.
Right. So if you join, yeah, that was Debbie's question. Basically, if you purchase Inspirations at any point, would you receive the sessions that have been recorded to that date?
You would, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. I think that's pretty much it.
Anything else,
Other
Scott?
comments?
Any questions?
Yep. So Diane is up next.
Okay. Hi, Diane.
Good morning. Hello, Deanne and everyone.
Hi, Diana.
Hi. My question also revolves around the comments portion, and you may have already answered this, so forgive me if I'm redundant. But I understand that the video is pre-recorded, but people will be able to comment. And if I ask you a question, you will respond to my question. I'm wondering if all of the comments from everyone are going to be visible to everyone.
Yes, they are. Okay. They're all going to be visible. Yeah, I want it that way. So there won't be like private conversations.
Good.
Between you and I. Everything will be visible. Yeah. Okay.
And then like Sheila, I think, was talking about if she asked a question and you answered it, could that sort of create a little running commentary or a little running?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can reply. I could probably check that, but
okay.
I'm afraid to leave the Zoom to check.
Oh no, yeah.
But yeah. I think I don't know, Angela. I don't know if you can check it or not, but I think I don't know if you can reply to the comments or not. I'm not sure how it's set up. So, but you can always reply to the comment below it, right? You can always say, and further to what Susan said, I'm wondering if right, and your name will be on it. Yeah,
great.
And I'll answer it again or try and, I mean, these I find honestly the comment section can be quite valuable, but in other courses that I've taken that are similar to this, there isn't a great deal of commentary. But, this one could be. I have no idea whether it will be. And I'll probably check the comments like, every 3 or 4 days. I won't be checking them every day,
Sure.
Yeah, just some kind of normal. I'm really watching myself with social media and how much time I spend. And but this will be different than social media. It'll be really a relatively, small group. It won't be 20 people, but it won't be 500 either. I don't think so. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to echo what everyone has said, that every time I take a class, watch a Thursday Live, I learn something, and I've been in the harbor since the beginning, and I have looked at some of those videos several times and taken notes. And each time I go back to it, there is some other little nugget of wisdom that I can garner from that. So they're just invaluable. And I so appreciate the fact that you leave things up and available for others, that there's no sort of expiration date.
Yeah. Well, as long as we don't have full control over that, because things happen with the internet, but that's our intention, is to try and leave them up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.